Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today the old 530 case gasoline backhoe is getting some love. This machine has gotten pretty much zero maintenance since I got it, and it's proved itself, so I think it's about time to give it some love. Did the points and condenser and spark plugs and all that. Gave it in the first oil change since forever. But the next bigger job is that a lot of these hydraulic cylinders, they leak like a sieve, especially these loader bucket curl cylinders. So let's rebuild them. Pulled the pins out. These case cylinders have a spanner wrench, have some spanner wrench holes, a pin spanner on the gland end, and also that little protuberance there is a roll pin or spring pin. That just basically locks the gland end so it doesn't spin out on its own. So I'm just going to take some pliers, pull that out, and then to undo the gland end I got this nifty adjustable pin spanner. I got it on eBay, some no-name brand, but it seems like it's pretty nice. It's got two different pin sizes on it. This is the large size and it costs like 30 bucks or so. 3/4 drive ratchet fits in there. So we'll put some heat to that gland end and loosen her up. It doesn't pop out. Ah, there we go. Just like that. It is sort of annoying to deal with this tool flopping around. I suppose I could tighten this pivot bolt on it. Now you may notice that I have not taken the cylinder off of the machine. I figured that was a little bit easier. There we go, I got my drain pan in place. There we go, the gland's out. But I'm leaving the cylinder on. On the other side, there were some bolts I had to take out to take the whole cylinder off, and they were stuck real tight. So I just didn't bother. And this provides a nice easy place to hold the cylinder and keep it from spinning around. So it worked well, so I'm just going to keep doing it. There we go. There we have it. So let's bring this onto the healing bench. So here we have the rod and piston in the vise. I do have brass vise jaws and a rag. You don't want to mar this surface. This chrome is actually in really surprisingly good shape. Yeah, I got it down. Oh, yep, nice and tight. And first I'll just give it a shot with the impact. See if it'll come off. There we go. That was easier than the last one. I had to torch the last one. There's on this particular one, see that little nylon locking plug? I assume that was fighting me a bit, but it was quite tight. It was just spinning this in the vise, but that one came out easier. And this is what we're working with. It's pretty basic. You got two end caps. And then all the seals are here. They're probably stuck on. I can't pull them off by hand, but here's a center piece, and then on each end of the piston we have these seals, these chevron seals. You see there, man, if it would be a little more focused, there we go. It's convex on one side, concave on the other. Now these seals, just like any other seal, high pressure, low pressure, whatever, the lip, the cup, goes towards the pressure that you're sealing off. So that's why we got two faces of the piston, and see the cups are alternating, so you know it seals from both directions. And this is just kind of like a backup ring. Now the main problem with these two cylinders is that they were leaking externally past the gland. So these were actually probably half decent. Obviously I'm going to replace them. So of course I want to clean up these piston ends. There's a little bit of rust there. It's still pretty smooth, but you know, you got it apart, might as well. Now just out of curiosity, a little post-mortem on these piston seals. This is that central divider, and you can see that's cracked. And then at the end of the chevron seals there's like a backup ring. One side is cracked, the other side is okay. Now here's the gland end. On each end there's this plastic bushing slash dust seal, both ends. Now there is the trick to getting it out. Let's see here it is. It is a split end. See, it's got that stepped end there. So you got to pick away at that stepped end, peel it out, and then down in there you see that black, that's the seal. You can't really see it, but I can feel it, and it's quite smooth. There's no lip or anything sticking out there. They're pretty hooped. The other side was, it just kind of ripped out, tore in pieces. Alright, so we got these all cleaned up, but we can't put the piston on before we get the gland end back together. So I'm going to start off. Well, let's start really easy. Let's make my life easy. Start with, there we go. There's a easy O-ring to take off, and then there's a Teflon backup seal. The backup seal always goes on the low pressure side. The backup seal is a rigid piece of plastic. In this case it's Teflon, and it just provides something sturdy for the O-ring to smush up against. So we'll file those in the art bin, and we'll tackle this, I don't know what you'd call it, this plastic bushing thing. I'm going to find that stepped edge there. Oh, that one's coming out pretty easy. Yeah, I think maybe the other one was a little harder to take apart. Oh, that's nice and easy. I used the torch a lot heavier on the other one to get it loose. Anyway, so there's that. And inside here, there's an O-ring. See that black line there? That's an O-ring. So I'll work on picking that out. Now I will say that, oh man, that is stuck in there. That is no longer an O-ring, that's a square ring. File those. Now I will say that normally with this sort of stuff, this particular task at hand, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it on camera because I figure you guys can figure it out. But I've gotten comments throughout the years that people say they want to see me do this stuff. So, you know, I try to limit screen time, you know, just some of my videos are pretty long as it is, just because I'm explaining stuff. That's another thing. People say I explain things too much. I don't know. I like explanations. But anyway, people want to see me turn every wrench and nut and bolt. So here you go. If you don't like it, fast forward, I guess. So now I got everything out except the actual sealing bit down there, which is going to be a little bit more of a pain to get out. Maybe. You can never have too many different picks and awls. Oh, that's not too bad. Out comes one. Now the new seals are different, a little bit different, which is unfortunate because these are nice and flexible. The new seals, this is a favorite saying of mine, stiffer than a honeymoon cock. And I got that one from my grandpa, but anyway, these are the old seals. They do have a negative step on one side and a positive on the other, and they kind of Lego together. And of course I got the new seal kits. I have no idea where I bought these. There's a part number. Maybe that'll get you somewhere. It didn't take too much searching online to find them. But at any rate, all the seals are out. I'm going to clean this up. I'm not going to show you me cleaning it. That's extra boring. I'll meet you back here in a bit. So here's what we got in the new kit. Like I said, the seal is a little different. Here's the new seal, just a typical kind of cup seal, lip seal thing. The thing is, it is stiff, so it's a real pain to get in there, but it does go in there. And once it's in there, in the groove, it shucks a little bit. So I imagine that's what these are for. It's possible that case at some point changed their gland a little bit, so maybe there's like an insert that screws in here to hold all this together, but that's not the case. So what I ended up doing after I got this in, I took one of these, cut it, and just fed it in around, and then did the same thing with one more, and that tightened it up. But at any rate, let's get her together. Of course, use plenty of lube. Let's see. Get the big O-ring. Just roll that down the threads. Be careful on the threads, of course. Now this backup ring, this is split, so you just feed that on. Again, that goes on the low pressure side. There we go, that was the easiest part. Now, put that O-ring in there. Oh, and for cleaning, all I didn't do anything special. For cleaning, I just used some old diesel that I have in a spray bottle. I find that's a lot cheaper and more plentiful than WD-40 or any of that stuff. Works just the same. Even if you buy pump diesel, $3, well shit, $6 a gallon now. That's cheaper than buying PB Blaster. Oh, there's also two different types of, I guess I'll call these dust seals or bushings or whatever. There's two different types. I believe the earlier ones were thin like this, and the later ones were wider. They may have been like a regular kind of lip seal, you know, with the metal outside. I'm not sure what they are because I don't have one. But keep that in mind when you're ordering. Also, this has a thinner edge here. That thinner edge goes up. I'll feed that in there. When you get it in there, there's going to be some overlap, and you have to get some sort of a tool. Let's see. The good old flathead screwdriver, and then just try to pop it in. Got one edge there. There we go. Snap that right in. Now the fun part, this thing, just lube the hell out of it. And the main trick is just squish it into an oval, stuff it in there, and the bottom part of the oval, you gotta push that up into the groove, and then once that's kind of locked in the groove, then you can start pushing down on the top and stuffing it in. Much easier said than done sometimes. This is the smallest cylinder, so imagine this is going to be the toughest one. The other ones should be easier. Oh, yep, got it. Let's see if I can show you. See, I got that in there. I'll just, of course, be careful, especially like right here. Be careful you don't gouge that lip too much. Or ideally, don't gouge it at all. I tell you, the second time's a lot easier than the first. There we go. Whew. Yeah, that was definitely a lot easier the second time. But anyway, now is not the time to realize you put that lip in backwards. Again, the lip, the cup, goes towards the pressure. Now I'll do that bushing. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do these. Let's see if I can show you. There, see that gap? That gap right there, the focus is fucking off, but at any rate, that's the gap that I need to fill. So I'll snip this. I'm sure this is not the way that it's intended to be used, but oh well, it'll be fine. This machine won't care. Well, I am going to try to stuff this gently, stuff the seal down as much as I can, so I have as much real estate as possible. There you go, so you can see that's starting to go in there. You just work it around. Just like that. Alright, I got it in. As it turned out, I had to partially take out the first one again and take a little bit off the end because the ends were still just slightly overlapped. Then you just got to gently work it in. Alright, so we're doing that top or outside end dust seal. Alright, so we'll clean up the rod. Got plenty of lubrication on there. Lube up this gland end. Again, make sure we're going the right direction. And stuff it on there. You have to kind of work it on. There we go. So we'll go in, we'll hit that seal, work it on again. There we go, and the last one. There you have it. Alright, last part. Got all the parts sorted out for the piston end. Again, 3 chevron seals, 1 backing seal. And again, make sure they're facing the right direction. Got these are different. Let's see, one fits and one doesn't, so it's not too challenging to figure out. I'm not liberal, but the one thing you'll see me being liberal about is lubrication. These go on pretty easy. As long as you don't get them all cocked like I just did. There we go. There's one side. I'll do the other side here. And there you have it. There's the centerpiece. This really doesn't need any oil, but I'll put some on anyway. Now, as far as the bolt goes, it does have that little nylock thing that I pointed out, but it is used and worn. So previously I cleaned out the threaded hole and I cleaned this bolt. I'm going to put some Loctite on there. There we go, so we're bottomed out. I'm going to make sure that's nice and tight. Give that a good wrap. And then what I'm going to do next, I'm not going to bother showing you, but I'm going to put a torque wrench on this just because, you know, this is a good impact wrench, but I've had a few where they sound like they're doing something, but they won't loosen a bolt, but you put a regular wrench on it, combination wrench, and it comes off. So I just want to make sure things are properly tight. So I'll just put a torque wrench on there. And if it does slip in the vise, just put a crowbar or something through that rod eye and let it push against your bench or something, or have somebody hold it. Alright, I'm going to see if I can just get it in this position. I did put some grease inside the cylinder and on the piston seal. It goes in, at least the other one went in surprisingly easy. There we go. That's it. But the tough thing is pushing this up enough against the threads to make it catch while you're spinning it. What I found was a good idea was to tap it with a hammer while I'm turning it. until that first thread catches. Then once you think you might have gotten it, just take a close look at the threads while you're turning the gland. Yep, we're in. Then the last thing is to watch out for this Teflon backup ring. Once you get to the point where it's starting to feed into the cylinder, because the backup ring, it's going to flop, it's flopping open a little bit, and it's going to get cut and sheared if you're not careful. So just get a little flathead screwdriver and keep that handy, and make sure to just poke that backup ring back in place as you're tightening the gland. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you rebuild a hydraulic cylinder, at least one on a Case 530 backhoe. You know, all the hydraulic cylinders out there, they're all going to be a little bit different, but it's the same general concept. And that's that. So I'm going to hook this one up and get some other cylinders off and keep on going. And the other thing to do, that I'm going to do anyway, while I'm at it, while it's sitting here, while it's not running, I'm going to replace a whole bunch of the hydraulic hoses, because again, that's something that you just don't want it to blow up on you, because firstly it'll stop you from doing what you're in the middle of doing, but it also could be dangerous. And at any rate, that's the project going on at the moment. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope some of you guys and gals out there learned something. And as always, thanks for watching, and come on back for more. Oh, and you know the deal. Hit the like button, the subscribe button. Keep up to date with my projects. I know I've been kind of lax on videos and such, but still got stuff going on here, keeping busy. Not a whole lot of video worthy stuff. Planting gardens, got more chickens, got a new chicken coop way over there. Cute little 4x8 chicken coop. 13 chickens in there. We're gonna have a whole shitload of eggs pretty soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Come on back for more.